So yesterday I took the leap. I braced myself, I took out my dusty, moth-filled wallet, and I paid for new WordPress web hosting, dreading the fact that I now had to move all 5 of my blogs onto a new provider without breaking anything. In a moment, I will explain exactly what's involved and whether you should embrace it or run away and hide from ever having to do this process yourself, even when you know that that new hosting provider is bigger, better, and faster. Should you do it? So one of the deciding factors of me jumping ship to a new provider was actually how easy would it be? Could I do it? Is it simple? Is it going to break anything? Am I going to lose all of my hard work on some of these blogs? After all, a lot of hosting providers make it really difficult because they don't want you to leave. That's why a lot of them will give you that heavily discounted introductory price for year 1, and then in year 2 they'll slap you with a massive invoice. Because they don't want you to go, so they try and block you in any way possible. The other way they block you is basically with the technical side. It's not easy to move your WordPress site. Or is it? In a moment, I'm going to show you exactly how easy it is if you move to the hosting provider WPX. In the description is a video about why I chose WPX, all of the different considerations and factors, why I wanted to move from 2 different hosting providers to 1, even though I knew it was going to cost me a lot more money. That video is going to be linked in the description, and I'll also put it up at the end of this one. So there were several reasons I moved to WPX. I took the decision because a lot of the bloggers that I know that are really successful are using WPX. And also there's a renowned internet marketer called Matthew Woodward who did loads of technical tests against some of the big hosting providers, and WPX came out champion of them tests. So I already know it's got a good reputation and it ticks the boxes for many of the things that I want, but I was still terrified of migrating one of my sites and losing all of my hard work. All those late nights and early mornings typing out blog posts could just vanish in one fell swoop. What I'm going to show you now is the process, exactly how long it took and what I actually had to do. One thing I should add is that unlike many other providers, WPX will actually migrate for free as many sites as you like. A lot of providers will charge you for a migration, or they'll just let you do one for free. WPX aren't bothered. It's one of the premium features and services that they offer. They offer site migrations and they offer it at no hassle and for free. And this is exactly what I had to do. So here we are on the homepage, and I'm going to show you exactly how easy it is to migrate your site with WPX. First of all, we go to support and we go to website migration request. What you can do is they've got a live chat button here on the side. I clicked on that and I spoke to someone called Lucho, who was really helpful. Okay, so you can see here that they give you like a standard template really that you have to fill in. So we just type in the name of the website that we want to migrate. And I'll just do this for test purposes, because I've already moved mine over now anyway. So you put the name of your website, then you put your WordPress dashboard URL in, the admin URL. Generally, it's your website with WP-admin at the end. Next, you want a WordPress username. Now, one thing I did was I actually went into WordPress itself, I clicked on users, and I just created a new user. So if you go into WordPress and then go to users on the left-hand side and then click add new. And then all I did here was create a temporary user. Generate a password, and I saved that. Go back to the form and we just put the details in there. This is probably going to be the way that they actually do any of the maintenance or migration of your site. Now you can put some details in there if you want to tell them, and further down you've got this migration process. Now there's different options for this, and this is what I spoke to their live support, because I basically said, what's the best option for you? And he basically just said, any. Choose whichever one works best for you and we'll work around it. Now, if they've got that WordPress username and password, then chances are they'll be able to do everything they need off the back of that. cPanel, this all depends on your current host. So you can go very technical. It depends how big your blog is and how your blog is set up. It could be that you know all of this inside out and you want them to get your backup in a very specific way. Or it could be that you just want them to log into your account and do it. It's up to you. I'm not going to recommend any way whatsoever, because it's up to you. When you're creating users within your own blog, it's up to you from a security perspective how you wish to do that. So with cPanel, a lot of hosting providers use a thing called cPanel for doing the admin side of it. So you could just give them your username and password for that. They'll go in and they'll do it all for you. Whichever way you want to choose, I'm sure they'll find a way. For me, what they did was they logged into WordPress, they installed a plugin called Duplicator, and they just did it that way. Nice and simple. Email boxes, again, if you tell them what email boxes you've got, or if you don't use email that's linked to that, then you don't need to use it. But they'll move that across for you as well. There's tons of additional information if you want to put it in, but I didn't. I literally just filled in them credentials details. That then raised a ticket, and 90 minutes later, they got back to me and they said, we're done. There you go, there's your new site. Now, the only thing I then needed to do was update my name servers. Now, what your name servers are is basically when someone goes to your website name and they type that in, and then it has to point it to where your particular instance of WordPress is installed. So whoever owns your domain, and that could be Namecheap, GoDaddy, it could even be with your current hosting provider, but whoever owns that will have these name servers, and it's very, very straightforward. All you have to do is go in and change them to the WPX ones. Now, it may be that they're different to the ones I've put in there, but they will tell you. So once they've done that migration, which is really quick, they'll send it back to you and they'll say, here's your name servers, go and update them. Or if you want us to help you, we will do. And that's the thing, they're there to support you. I found it a really straightforward and positive experience. That is how simple it is. So I admire WPX for this. It's something that's got potential to be so stressful and costly, yet they embrace it and treat it as one of their premium features, and they make it into a positive experience. I've walked away now and I've had one dealing with the support of WPX, and it's been massively positive. I've got that reassurance there, and I feel like that they know what they're doing and they're there to support me should I ever need to raise tickets or speak to them again. So it ticks the box for exactly what I was looking for in a web hosting provider. But as I said earlier, that isn't the only reason that I moved to WPX. So I'm going to put a link in the description, and there's going to be a video that's going to come up next, and it's going to show you exactly why I think you should maybe consider moving to WPX too.